Hello, and welcome to well, we're still at the Codegua weekend. The Ets on pole, and you expect him to win this pretty comfortably. Saudi X was slowly away. Jensen wasn't that quick off the line. Fuma has got an opportunity here into turn one, but Jensen closes that avenue off fairly quickly. Milligan up to third, then Saudi X, Burpin and Cyphers, and then Smith. Going right down the inside there is like Kaye. He's been up some nice places on the opening couple of corners. As now we see all the overtaking kicking off. Up border Anthony Cyphers. Really, this is turning into a two-way fight out the front. Lee Jensen. Cyphers, well, he was, well, Milligan's third. Cyphers flying with Bergman for fifth. I bet to be fourth, but yeah. And going right around the outside is Wood. Kaye gets involved in this fight. So that's Smith. Kaye is behind them. Then we see Bourbon and Cyphers fighting. Wood goes down the inside in all of this, trying to find his way through Anthony Cyphers, and he makes his way up to P5 as he pushes Bergman along and now tries to move to the outside of Bergman. He didn't really have the pace to do it. And now Cyphers is going to try and come back at Wood as Wood goes down the inside of Bergman. And Ole Wood is trying to make his way up to fourth place, having started this race P11. We haven't even completed the first lap as now Cyphers goes down the inside. That's going to be 3 wide. Kaye might smell an opportunity for an overtake here as Wood drops to 6th. Bergman 4th, Cyphers 5th. Wood 6th, comes back down the inside, nearly hit Bergman. Now Cyphers gets off the corner decently enough, and that's going to be enough to surely see him ahead of Bergman. Down the inside. Bergman still holding the position though, and now right down the inside goes James Smith, who gets past all of them. And up into 4th place. Cyphers actually did get out of Bergman. Now like Kaye has come past Bergman and up into 6th place. And at the end of the first lap, Jensen leads, followed by Puma, Milligan riding out the podium, and everyone else is 8 seconds behind because they're all fighting it out for 4th. Smith ahead of Cyphers, ahead of Kaye, ahead of Bergman Wood. That's this little fight as Kaye sends it right down the inside of Cyphers, and he makes his way now up to P5. So Kaye and Wood are having good races. Bergman as well. Actually, Bergman started 7th, so maybe not. But Smith is having a resurgence to form. As now Cyphers comes back down the inside of Kaye, and these go make contact. Bergman's trying to come down the inside on Cyphers, and he now gets back ahead of the Belgian driver as he now tries to get ahead of like Kaye down the inside here. And meanwhile, flying through the pack behind them is Ole Wood. As they all cluster Tina up, Kaye's going to be forced into a 3-way battle with Cyphers and Bergman behind all these. Andre Savonieks has joined in the fight after starting third. He kind of fell off a cliff on the first lap. He's down in 9th at the moment. You know, a really slow start as now Bergman goes down the inside and pops his way up to 6th place ahead of like Kaye. Now Wood tries to get past Kaye. Kaye in the end comes back down the inside of Bergman and in the end stays P6. Hutchins meanwhile was going ahead of Caterham up into the top 10. So this is shaping up to be an interesting race. Kaye is going to get overtaken by Bergman around the outside as he is nearly going into the back of Wood was, sorry, into the back of Kaye was Wood. Bergman gets ahead of Kaye now. So we'll look as Rast and Kato are fighting. Meanwhile, in all of that, we've got Wood going down the inside of Kaye. Savonieks goes right to the outside as Hutchins tries to send it down the inside. He's got some damage to the right hand side of his car, which doesn't even shock me to be fair. So Bergman's now, so Wood is now ahead of Kaye. And now Savonieks is trying to get ahead of Kaye, as is Hutchins. And Kaye now drops to 10th place, although Savonieks made a mistake there. And so Kaye, who was running as high as 5th on this lap, is now down to 10th. So now Hutchins and Savonieks go side by side for 8th place. Although Kaye is very much still a factor in this fight. Smith's pulled away from everyone for 4th. So it's good news for him. It's not good news for everyone else in behind who had ambitions of finishing 4th. Meanwhile, Hutchins and Zelenius are still side by side. Kaye right behind them. Well, here we go. Kaye's trying to get past, but there was no gap for him there. 10 minutes to go. Hutchins going down the inside on Savoniak. Savoniak is going to have to get a run, and they're now going to be side by side as they race towards turn 1. We're going to go aboard right Kaye. He's going to get a perfect view of this in 10th place. And now Kaye sends it down the inside. He's going to make this 3 wide. Meanwhile, Martinez tries to join in the fight. He makes contact with Hutchins. And Kaye swoops by them all. Kaye just bided his time and he was able to get past all of them. As now Martinez sends it down the inside here and there was huge contact. Kaye, I think, got lifted up off the ground. Savoniak is now ahead of him. Martinez has kept it going, but he's down in 11th now behind Hutchins. So in the end, he didn't gain a single position. And still Kaye and Savoniak go side by side. And eventually, it looks as if Savoniak has got a slightly upper hand. But although Kaye is still holding it as he tries to go right around the outside, but Savoniak has held P8. He was slow off the corner though, and that's going to allow Kaye right back into the fight. Meanwhile, Martinez has dropped down to 12th as Cater's beginning to make places. The top 6 have all kind of spaced themselves out. So you head through there when Kaye is going to go right around the outside on Savoniak, but it's not going to happen there. He's still, however, pursuing an overtake for 8th place on Andreas Savoniak. Got all that shape there, though. That's going to cost him a little bit of time, but he's very much firmly on the back of Savoniak. Martinez is about 9 tenths down the road, and then there's a second and a half to Accountiax, who's somehow in 11th in all of this. Savoniak gets away from Kaye. This is the fight for 11th. This is Jones, Hutchins, Cater, and Accountiax in all of this. And joining into this fight is Franz Rast, as Accountiax goes right down the inside on all of them. And is up to 11th. Jones is 12th, Hutchins, Cater, Rast. They'll even have a fight for 16th between Doug, Genovese, and Lossell. As Hutchins is going to go down the inside on Cater. Rast tries to get past both of them. In the end, he gets ahead of Hutchins because Hutchins made a bad mistake. And in the end, Rast now tries to have a look at Cater, but he couldn't pull it off there. And now this fight begins to go to a crawl. Kaye might come under some pressure from Martinez. As they've got a 3-way fight here at the end of the points between Shaw, Spexy, and Doug. This is over 18th place. Spexy goes right down the inside. He's got ahead of both of them. Meanwhile, just ahead of them, you can see Genovese getting ahead of Lossell. As now Shaw goes down the inside on Spexy, but further up, it's all nice and quiet. Could see Jones having a look at Accountiax for 11th. Although the damage to that wheel of the car might make it interesting if he was to pursue that. Six minutes 54 to go. Theo Jones can move done. And into the back of this fight, here comes Papa Kaiser, who's down in 13th place. Couldn't get ahead of Jones there. And now goes down the inside, but he couldn't get it done. Last now going side by side with Cater. But Cater stays ahead. Jones continuing to fight work out, and it's for 11th, and now you'll get the feeling that the action will be less, unless slightly further down the field, because, well, most of the drivers have spaced themselves out from fighting so hard. So, yeah. So Jones has a look at the count, he can't get it done. Yeah, I mean, the gap from Jensen to Babu was 4 seconds. There's 3 seconds back to Miniman, 11 seconds back to Smith, then 3 seconds back to Cyphers, 3 seconds back to Bergman, another 3 to Rude, and a good 6 seconds back to Savaniak, who's a good 2 seconds ahead of Kaye, who's over a second ahead of Martinez, who himself is 4 seconds ahead of this little fight for the 11th. See the count there for Jones. So, top 10 really, very spaced out. It's outside the top 10 where the battles are happening. With 4 minutes 47 to go, we're following Jack Jones as he tries to get ahead on Marcel at County X for 11th place. We're going to go our way to Cater playing with Hutchins. Over 14th place. That's now coming down the inside is Genovese, but he couldn't get it ahead of Hutchins. Now Hutchins comes back down the inside of Cater. Cater's going to hold off Hutchins. Now where's Genovese? Well, he's going to pressure from Lossell. And now Hutchins is going side by side with Cater up ahead of them. Now Genovese tries to go on the inside of all of them, hit Cater, but he gets 14th. Cater down to 15th, might be 16th. Here's Hutchins is going to go down the inside. And on board with Lossell, he gets an ideal look at all of this. And he now tries to thread the needle between Cater and Hutchins there. Excellent opportunistic manoeuvre there by Lossell as he moves himself up to 16th. But I don't think we're going to cut away from this battle because it's still going on. Lossell trying to go down the inside of Cater wasn't going to happen there. Now Hutchins goes down the inside on Lossell, who was offline, but he couldn't get it done. Hutchins tries to go right behind the outside on Lossell, but he can't get it done. And now they split off into 2 separate battles. But this now turns into a fight for 16th because Smetsky is onto the back of them with Lewis Shaw. So we'll cut away from that one. Jones still not doing having any success on the county yet. Cater still fighting with Genovese for 14th though. Let's see. As Cater fighting with Genovese for 14th place. Not gonna happen there. Nothing really going on. Still Jones behind the county X. 1 minute 50 to go. Now Jones finally gets the overtake on County X, but he bottles it. Now tries to go the long way round, but that was Jones's opportunity potentially, and it's not happened there. Now Jones gets on the inside. Side by side. Has the inside, but that's not really been in him. Not really helped you out this weekend. Calvin's on the inside. Jones is going to go forward the long way round. 1 minute to go. Jensen's about to start the final lap of the race. Jones couldn't get it done. He's frustrated. Because he knows he can catch up to a Martinez. Kalniak's is the literal moving wall in his way. And not careful, they might be about to drag France Rast into this, who after DNFing yesterday and having problems early on in this race, is now running 13th. But Kalniak stays ahead of Jones with 23 seconds to go. So from these lot's perspective, they have, well, this final corner already, and then one more lap. Jensen's already about to hit the middle sector on the final lap. That's how far ahead of them he is. Yeah, so in all of this, by the way, Rast, he is not really onto the back this time. So, doesn't look like we're going to get a three-way fight for 11 for the final lap of the race. As Jones continues to fight with a county X. Can't get it done again. Let's see if Jones can find his way ahead of a county X. Still, the answer remains no. So we had to do else. If anything, Jones has dropped back a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see what he does. I'm going to go back to the front now, because guess what's happened again? Mikko Jensen gets pole, a win, and a fastest lap. This has never happened in JTCL before. So exciting. Dan Bavuma is going to cross the line to finish second and return to the form he showed at the start of the season. Mark Minigan was first podium in JTCL. Good result for the young Aussie as he finishes third. Coming away from that, then we got a bit of a while to wait now as James Smith's trying around the final corner to bounce back to the form after a tough couple of races as he crosses the line in fourth, with Anthony Swipers finishing in fifth position, with Aaron Bergman coming across the line in the end. It is to claim P6 ahead of Oi Rude, who's going to end up in seventh, with Andres Savaniak a disappointing race after qualifying third down in eighth. Ike Kaye is going to cross the line and he's going to finish ninth. Behind them, Ruben Martinez running out the top 10 in the end for the Mexican, with back in 11th place, Marcel Kalniak holding off Jack Jones for 11th, with Franz Rast behind them, finishing 13th. Papa Cato is going to have a poor week at race. It might be his worst finish in the season, all season long, as he finishes 14th at the Gevedisi. Hutchinson 16th to round out a pretty uneventful debut weekend, with Losso in 17th, Short in 18th, Smetsky 19th, Lau's going to get the last point in 20th, Sid Doug's going to cross the line 21st, and then this fight at the back stretched him out a little bit, but it's going to be Cheku Mondi who's going to cross the line to finish in 22nd, with Jonas Hansen just behind him at 23rd, then Douglas at 24th, and Tom Forsberg with the last driver home as none of them DNF'd. Nothing to discuss, Jensen's too goodbye.